Welcome to the Healthcare Provider Happy Hour. This is a safe space where we invite healthcare providers to unapologetically be themselves after the working day. My name is Jennifer George, and each week I will connect you with guests and stories that will help transform your stress to success and fulfillment. Are you with me? Grab your drink of choice and let's chat. Hey everyone, welcome to the Healthcare Provider Happy Hour. I'm your host, Jennifer George, and I'm joining you this morning with a glass of water. I just had a post-workout shake, and I find when I'm doing some form of movement in the morning that's when I'm most inspired, and that's when I come up with my podcast ideas and episodes. And since I had the time today to do it this morning, I'm here to chat with you today in the morning, which I'd rather do than in the evenings personally. Speaking of which, I want to chat with you today about your habits of success, your rituals of success. You know, I was thinking about this recently, and I was thinking about a time where I felt happiest and in my most highest state of flow, and like between my personal and professional life. And that would have been at the time that I wrote my book, Communication is Care, in 2019 when it launched. And it's so crazy because I realized looking back that when my book came out, I became so busy with marketing and press releases and things like that and media and stuff, that I then backed away from the foundations, the habits that built me up to that point of success and fulfillment and happiness in my life. So for instance, I had been participating in coaching with a coach online, and I had been doing that for over a year up until the point. So I would do weekly check-ins with her. And, you know, around the time my book came out, I stopped. I said I couldn't commit to it. I couldn't give it my all, and I stopped. And then when, for instance, when COVID hit in March, I could no longer go to the gym at 5 a.m. That was something that I had been doing for years. 5:30 a.m. I would go to the gym, and that was my ritual that brought me to that point of success. And so while I looked forward to sleeping in, and while that felt good in the beginning, I now look back and realize that that's not where I thrive. I don't thrive when I wake up later than 5:30, 5 a.m. So it's a fine line between finding what you have the energy for and giving yourself some slack, right? But then also reflecting on where you were most fulfilled and most happy in your life, and tracing your steps back to that and what you were doing leading up to that. I've talked about this before on Instagram, I think, but it really hit me today, and I felt like I really needed to come out and share it, because I think maybe with everything going on with the pandemic right now, that you could perhaps use this strategy of inspiration to reflect back on a point where you felt most fulfilled, and see if those habits that you brought forward to that success are habits you are still doing today. Don't get me wrong, I'm still engaging in movement. I'm still monitoring myself that way, but it's different than it was. And so my point is that I'm going to be committing myself to getting myself back to where I felt most fulfilled, despite the times we are going through. I think I've had enough of the control that this pandemic has had on me. And I'm going to start taking back my life and my fulfillment and putting it into my hands through the grace of God as well every day. So that is my commitment to myself and to you. I would love to hear what your commitment will be moving forward to yourself. So it might be difficult for me right now to wake up at 5 a.m. because it's a big jump from where I'm at now, but I might start going in like 15-minute increments where Let's say I'm waking up at like 6:15, I'll wake up at 6 instead for a bit and see how that goes. It's just monitoring myself along the way and building myself back up, right? We all have to start somewhere. So have compassion with yourself through that. Like I said, it's not an all or none thing. It's more of a conscientious journey, and just finding your place in that right now and getting back to where you felt your best, your most peak. And like I said, not getting lost in it too much and putting pressure on yourself, but where you can meet yourself where you're at right now. I know that I can now have the energy to get to that point moving forward, so I'm going to try to commit to that. Let me know what you think. If you like this podcast, take a screenshot, tag me on Instagram. My handle's at bestobsessedwithjen. Also, feel free to share what you're going to be committed to. Is it waking up 15 minutes earlier like me? Is it engaging in more movement? Is it drinking enough water? What is it that brought you to the point of success and fulfillment at some point in your life over the last little bit? We all have the chance to get there. Every day is a new chance to get there. And if you don't get there that day, you just try again tomorrow. I just wanted to let you know too, my webinar Communication is Care that I did with Embodia is still available for free access. All you have to do is click the link in my show notes and put in the coupon code Communication is Care. You can watch the webinar. It's about an hour long on my book and how to enhance your practice through compassionate interpersonal communication. And let me know what you think about that as well. I'd really appreciate it. And as usual, if you like this podcast, leave a review. You just go to iTunes, you scroll down to write a review and just put in your thoughts. I would appreciate it. I always read them. And I really believe it's kind of a compass for me to deliver the best value I can to you. And until we chat next time, stay happy. So if you guys like this podcast, please subscribe and leave an honest review. Your feedback means everything to me. Your reviews are what moves this podcast forward, and I always appreciate receiving them. If you want to get a hold of me directly, reach out to me on social media. My handles are in the show notes, and you can always subscribe to my weekly newsletters at jennifergeorge.co so that we can stay connected. So until next time, thank you guys so much again for your ongoing support.